Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Attacking Third. To my left, I know he doesn't look. I guess he's not better looking than Austin, but he's something. We have Pat Bernard with us today. Austin hopefully can join us in a little bit. Welcome to the show, Pat. Thanks for being with us today.
Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited. First of all, this is the third season of the Attacking Third, and what better way to get started because we had a preseason union matchup right over the weekend, and of course some big breaking trade rumors, not trade rumors, trade transactions that went down today. But look, I'm going to step back. I'm going to let my man, the furry mountain man himself, uh, he's got all the beard. I think he's shaved all below, but I'm not here to tell you that.
Okay,
He is.
Pat. This is a
Okay.
family show.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'm starting to creep people out. So here goes my man, Austin.
Some information is best kept behind
Seriously,
closed doors, Pat. Hello,
please be sure to tell your boy, because that's ridiculous.
Pat.
So what's up, man?
There's a coffee rule on your show. There's just a flat no here. But yeah, man. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. A lot of unplugging and replugging my camera in to get it to work, but we're good.
No, you're good. So. You're good, man. So how's it going?
Doing good, man. Liked what I saw from the Union so far in the preseason. The addition that we're just about to talk about, I feel like was a good choice. Yeah, overall, aside from being excited for the Eagles as everyone else in the city is, I've actually been enjoying. Even though I can't actually watch it, you can follow it on their Twitter page. The live updates of the matches so far.
Who is this team?
Who? The team that we just played, St. Louis City?
No. Our team. Who is this team? I don't know this team. Who makes moves like this?
Hey.
Who makes moves like this?
Dude, solidifying the back line. Solidifying the back line, baby.
Austin, we do not make moves like this. We do not make moves like this.
Well, guess what? We are.
And that's what I'm like. Who is this? Who is this team?
This is a team that's trying to win, baby.
Since 2019, we are the one team that has the least amount of moves in terms of trade or anything like that.
We've made 2
in the MLS. Like we just don't do any of this. Yeah. Like let's talk about some moves that you've seen. So we got our back. Let's say our backup 10, right? In Torres from Montreal. What do you think about that?
I feel like it's a good play for that. I guess you could call him a super sub. That guy in the second half of the match that you just need a quick burst of extra offense from. I feel like he's definitely that guy for sure. The fact that within 24 hours of that move being announced, he was down in Clearwater training with Philadelphia shows that he is ready to work, and you have to love that, especially from a guy who's supposed to be your backup 10 to just be like, yeah, let's do it, let's go. And it's just immediately there and ready to work, dude. You gotta love it.
He's really versatile up top too, because you can put him behind Gastag. You can be literally our backup 10 behind Gastag, or you can place him up top too. He's a scorer, so you can definitely place him up top. Maybe sub him in for Carranza. So he takes care of two things. One, if Gastag's not playing the whole game, which I really doubt that's going to happen, he can take his spot. If not, he can go up top when Carranza gets a little tired, or Ura and get a little tired.
Exactly.
And he can take their spot because he, out of all the options that we have, who do we have? Donovan, Sullivan. I guess we can put Sullivan up there and Raffanello.
Raffanello as well.
I feel the backups.
Yeah, this is.
I like Torres better than all of those guys.
Yeah, Torres is definitely the right move for sure. It was exactly what I feel like if there were a move to make after losing Corey Burke, that was what you wanted.
Yeah, when we stay in the middle, we still have Flack. We should. I don't know why, and I don't know why, but Bedoya, Flack, and backing them up would be, I guess, Pereira, McGlynn, and Bueno, in the middle, which I like.
Bueno's been seeing some solid minutes so far in the preseason. I like what I've been hearing about from him so far.
I don't think that Bedoya is going to start every match.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I think
Absolutely not.
McGlynn will get a couple starts there, and Bueno will see some minutes. But you know what? The news that I wanted to get your opinion on more than anything, Martinez is being shopped hard. Now we've turned down
Understandably so.
we're turned out 2 offers already, right? They're seeking $2 million, or yeah, 2 million in transfer fees, right? For Martinez. If we get rid of him, who are you putting in his position?
Probably Pereira. Either Pereira or McGlynn. If you want to give McGlynn those minutes on the 11, either one of those guys, I feel like will fit.
I would think that it's a little too back for McGlynn. I think that
Yeah, definitely. He's more offensively minded for sure.
What I would do is I would put Flock in Martinez spot and then put Pereira in Flack's spot a little bit up top.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Because Flock, he's done it for like 3 seasons now. He can get to the ball and he can win those tackles. So that would be a perfect spot for him to be in. And it
definitely
kind of opens up the field a little bit because Pereira is not exactly slow. So
yeah, he's definitely no slouch for sure.
That's real good. Let's talk about the back line for a little bit.
Sure.
As of right now, as of today, as of January 26, 2023, Kai Wagner is still a Philadelphia Union.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Now, who do we have behind him? We have Real.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. And what's the other kid? Sorensen.
Yeah.
If Kai Wagner does go, who are you putting? Who do you feel more comfortable with?
Honestly, for how long they've been in the system so far, Matt Real. Just because you saw it in the playoffs, he does have the ability to make the runs going up with the rest of the team on the offensive end, and I feel like just give him some time and he'll be able to eventually develop the kind of service that Kai Wagner has been giving the Union for the past few seasons, for sure.
It's his job to lose, really. If Wagner's not there, obviously, it's his job to lose. I think they'll try Sorensen a couple times just to see what he has, but it really should be Real's job when it's all said and done. We lost our boy Freeze, right, to
NYCFC.
Of all places.
Which, it makes sense in terms of the move for NYCFC because Sean Johnson is still a free agent. He did not sign back with NYCFC.
I got to tell you, Freeze is good enough to start in the MLS.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So don't be surprised if we see Blake against Freeze in the match this year. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
We'll definitely see Blake Freeze as a keeper matchup.
I get it. Good for him, but
100%.
Does it have to be New York?
That's the thing that I was thinking was like first Burke went to Red Bull, and now Matt Freese goes to NYCFC. Like, why do we want to help these teams?
I don't know. It's like the NFC East, right? You never want to trade within the NFC East, right? You never want to trade with the Celtics, with the Nets. Like you don't ever want to. Sometimes it happens, obviously in basketball more than anything, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to help the other team out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think here, I think New York, and especially in soccer, in all sports, really, that's like big rivalry. I think it's dumb to try to trade with them.
Yeah, but I understand the move in terms of it's a place that Freese will definitely see a ton more time actually starting, and he has what it takes to be a definite starter in the MLS. So being able to get that opportunity is going to be good for him. I feel.
Yeah, like I said, good for him. I'm glad that he's getting some minutes, or he's gonna get some minutes. I just I wish he wasn't wearing that shield.
Yeah, definitely wish that it was some more time here, but Blake it's Blake's job to essentially keep year in and year out, and at this rate, Freese will probably end up retiring as a career backup if he doesn't try and find somewhere else to go. And New York was looking for a keeper, and we were willing to let him go do his thing. So, we have a couple other serviceable guys behind him. behind where Freese was in the depth chart, then move up, which is always fun. A couple of young guys.
What's the kid's name? Bendick? No, or
Yeah, Bednick is one.
Bednick.
And then the kid
he would be backing up Blake. I am assuming.
Because the other kid we just got from out of the draft, so he would need a couple more years. He's still very green with how MLS plays, so it's going to be one of those things. You want to give him some time to sort of learn the system. Maybe get some more work in behind Blake, and maybe eventually we move on from Bednick and bring him up as the number 2 guy to potentially take over at some point.
For the most part, we're probably going to see a very familiar starting 11. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. We will see some new faces when we start switching people out. I forgot about the kid, Odada. That he can probably back up either Flock if Martinez leaves, back up either Flock or Perea. In the situation.
100%. I feel like that's where he definitely stands in the depth chart right now. Maybe he's been getting some minutes to start up so far, so you never know what really could happen with how everything turns out after the preseason's done. So
we have Linda saying hello, Linda. How are you?
What up, Linda? And then Pat had brought this up a second ago. I just wanted to bring it back up here. Joaquin Torres had 3 goals and 2 assists in 28 matches last season, which very solid.
It's not a huge number. Obviously, he's no Gastag, but we don't need him to be that guy. We just need him to be there in situations where we need him, and
for supplemental play for the most part.
Right, and that's gonna be his job. We don't need him to take over. We don't need him to be that guy. We just need him to be serviceable and to make smart plays. Let's talk about the rest of the line. So we have Elliott and Glessens coming back. Obviously, they're not going anywhere. Bizo, which I also thought that he was going to be on his way, is still with the team, and we have Harriel backing him up. What do you think about that? Do you think Harriel should get the starting job, or do you want to stick to Bizo?
I feel like that's what we're going to be doing this preseason predominantly, is checking to see which one of them we kind of want to, I guess you could say, run as the 1A comparatively, because over there the competition between the two of them was tight all last year too.
Yeah,
they both had games where they looked incredible. They both also had games where it made you wonder what they were doing most of the time. But it's one of those things. You want to see how they deal with the ebb and flow of everything as that guy going forward. And I mean, honestly, if we still have to platoon them this season, I'm totally fine with it, because both of them play 2 totally different styles, which I really like. So being able to, have that one little thing of like, oh, I don't know if we're going to get the guy that's more, better at the runs on the offensive end, or the guy who's just a really staunch defender. So having that option between the two, personally, I would go with Harriel, but it's going to be a wait and see type of thing. Honestly, 100%.
I want to believe that Harriel can make a jump to be better. I want to believe that he has a bigger ceiling than Bizo.
Yeah.
However, I'm hoping that this year is where I see the jump that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I definitely do want to see, especially with Harriel, I just want to see him be able to still do what he was able to do, but be able to, especially one of his major issues a lot of the time was keeping pace with guys making runs on the outside. And if he can just get that locked down, he could honestly be, in my opinion, one of the better defenders in the back four.
Well, that's what he was starting for a little while, and that's why we put Bizo back in, because Bizo can keep up. He's fast enough to keep up. However, we were at a catch-22 because Bizo also makes some dummy plays at times that can cost us the game, as we've seen multiple times. So,
for sure.
I mean, I think it's a smart idea to just keep him starting for right now, but we could definitely see a change throughout the season depending on how it goes. Yeah, and then we just picked up Lowe from Miami, right? Which Jamaican with Blake. So that's a good combination there. They've played together before.
Yep, we lost a Jamaica international to gain another Jamaica international.
There you go.
So
I mean, different positions, whatever.
Hey.
He's closer to Blake. And then we have I guess we have Craig coming off if anything happens, right? Which I'm okay with. I like the kid. I think he's going to be pretty solid.
Yeah,
coming
Craig's
in.
definitely put in some good work over the past couple of years, and I feel like if Bizo or Harriel or both were to move in some way, shape, or form, he would probably be the guy that you would consider most to take over at that position. Honestly, maybe even if Kai Wagner does stick around, you would consider Matt Real over there too, because that's where his natural position is.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, just think about what we did, what we just did, right? We didn't sign crazy players. We didn't sign any star from Europe or anything like that. But look at our we had one of the best starting 11s last year, right?
Yep.
Even without all that. Our depth. Look at our depth. Torres, Lowe, Perea, McGlynn, Sullivan, Harriel, Craig, Odada. Like, are we deeper right now?
Joe Bednick is the backup keeper.
Are we deeper right now than we were last year?
It's possible. It's very possible.
I think.
I mean, yeah, because you consider a lot of the back end of our subs list was usually like a lot younger guys and Jesus Bueno.
Yeah.
So seeing Bueno move up is a very good thing. Honestly, we've had him here for a couple of years now, and him finally starting to take that step is really good. And then, I mean, sure, we lost Paxton Aronson, but we still have some decent youth talent that we've molded into being ready, and the additions that we made just help sort of solidify a couple of little extra pieces that we were missing. And we have more experience now in that sub list. A couple of very, very tenacious players, especially in terms of Perea and Lowe. Those guys definitely were, I feel, in my personal opinion, they were key. Getting the guys that have a couple of years experience in how the game plays to be able to not only be able to just plug and play where you need them in those positions, but also to be able to help teach some of the younger guys, like, hey, like, I see that you're doing this and that's cool, but try this. Like, that's the kind of thing that I really like, is like having those guys that are like, it makes, like, they'll be the kind of guy that's like, it makes sense on paper what you're trying to do, but in practice it's not. So let's try this way, and maybe it could help with something else, like helping like step your game up just a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm excited about the move, man. I can't wait to see what they have in the field. I love that we have the preseason for them to kind of get going.
Yeah.
You'll never get the full experience or like the full momentum of the game in preseason, because you're just, if we're being completely honest, you're not giving it your all.
Yeah, definitely not trying to hurt yourself before the season
but you're
starts.
definitely trying to see what their tendencies are with different players, right?
Yeah.
I want to see how Carranza and Torres play together, man. That's
both
Argentinian. Like, they're. I want to see how they play together. I want to see Ua. I honestly just want to see him just have more stamina. That's all I want to see from him. He was perfect last year, and he did exactly what he needed to do. I just need him to do it a little bit longer, because
we would definitely gas out a bit too early. Yeah,
and it's fine. I mean, it was fine last year. It worked. Obviously, we didn't win the championship. I still can't believe Gareth Bale retired after that. I'm speechless. You couldn't retire a year earlier. I hate him. I used to love him too. I hate him.
Couldn't have just not came here and retired.
For really.
Just saying.
Yeah, I think so, Pat. I don't think our starting 11 didn't change. So in terms of gelling, they've already played together. So I don't think that that they need time to gel. They've been gelling for a year and a half now.
Yeah, more than anything, it's going to be just more trying to incorporate these guys that we want in the rotation now that we've added. So I feel like it's more going to be getting them. And I said this before the matches even started, that the main thing you want to do is establish who a lot of your I guess you could say back end of the depth chart kind of guys are. Like, who's, like, figure out if a guy that was on the bubble last year is not on anymore. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. It's situations that Curtin is looking for. Like, who are you going to call to if you're down a goal? Who are you going to call if you're tied? Who are you going to call if you have the lead and you just need to slow down the game a little bit? So he's gonna play around with that. He's gonna see what players fit
whatever situation they're facing. Hopefully, most of the time they're facing the lead part. But I mean, we'll see. It's a new year. It's the same team essentially, but it's a new year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But with the new acquisitions, I think the preseason is going to be important just to see how they can help the Philadelphia Union, how they can help Curtin, because I don't think that they're going to be part of the main plan just yet, unless there's somebody gets hurt for the year or somebody goes on trade. But it's definitely going to help to see what they have, what they bring to the table, how Curtin can use them, and Curtin is smart enough to kind of figure that out fast. I don't think he's going to take him all preseason games to understand what they can do for the team and how they can do it.
Yeah, Curtin's got a very particular system about how he has expected things to go, and it's more going to be just getting these new guys into the understanding of, okay, so this is what you want me to do. I'm going to go ahead and do it, and it's going to be it takes time to get to that point. So having the preseason definitely is going to help with that.
We have Paul over here. Does Free still play goalie? His dad, Eep, was my neurosurgeon years ago. That's actually a cool fact, Paul. I didn't know that. He's still playing, just not playing for the Philadelphia Union. He moved up to New York.
Yes, he actually literally this week was traded over to NYCFC.
And we were saying good for him. I'm glad he's getting the minutes. I just don't like that he went to New York. That's all.
Yeah, same here. Oh, his dad's name was actually Rip.
Oh, Rip.
Rip Freeze. What a name. What a name,
that's pretty
dude.
Cool.
Sounds like a wrestler, dude. Like
it actually kind of does. So let me ask you, Austin, just out of curiosity. Yeah. Now we saw what Gostak did last year. 20 plus goals, assist right up there. Do you think he has the same production this year?
Yeah, I feel like last year alone was proof that he definitely has found his stride here in MLS, and he'll be able to.
Oh, he died.
Oh, jeez.
Never mind.
Oh, that's probably why he said the term was.
There
that would be the operative term there. But yeah, back to your question though, I do feel like Gosdog definitely has a chance to continue the success that he saw last year. A lot of that is going to be determined by how well the midfield plays. Because being able to transition from the defensive play to the offensive play, it's going to hinge a lot on them. And I feel like being able to transition has been one of the main keys that that the Union have been able to get a lot of their success from, and it's definitely still there. And it's really just going to be if Gosdog has the touch that he had last year for the most part. If he still has that, then he should be fine. Here's
my worry. I think teams are going to respect him a lot more now this year than they did last year.
Oh yeah, 100%. They'll respect. The thing is, they'll respect all three of them, but you can't check all three of them at the same time.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
What up, Muffler Mike?
Yeah, I just that's what I'm worried about. I think he's going to get a lot more respect this year, and he's going to be covered a little bit better. But when he is, this is the part where I want other guys to show up. Like this is where we would want
the whole thing with like Carranza being able to play better with his back to the goal.
This is where this comes in. If you don't work on that this offseason, like I don't know what you did for these last couple months. Like what are you doing? If there's anything in your play that you need to work on, if you're Julian Carranza, it's your back to the goal.
Yeah,
it was abysmal, to say the least, last year. And with Gasa getting a little more respect, I guarantee you're gonna have more chances, and it's gonna be up to Ua or Carranza to just take advantage of that.
Yeah.
I want to say that Gostak is gonna get the same production that he had last year. I don't believe that he will, and you have no idea how much I hope I'm wrong.
I mean, it's definitely understandable. Like you said, they'll definitely play him a lot differently than they did last year, which could probably cut down on a lot of his production. But like you said, if guys like Carranza and Ua can work on what they needed to work on through this off season and preseason, and they have a better capability with the things that they were lacking in, it could be no problem at all. And instead of Gazdag performing out of sight, it could be Carranza or Ua, or honestly whoever we happen to slot in there. If it's one of those two, if it's one of the other guys that we've added, Chris Donovan, just all those guys just being able to play better is going to help Daniel Gazdag as much as humanly possible.
And not that he needs, help. I think he established himself last year as that guy in the middle.
I mean it more in terms of like being able to, if they can play well and they have to also draw that extra mark, it'll take a lot of pressure off of Gazdag and allow him the ability to score. I just think
he's going to get a lot more eyes, and that kind of worries me a little bit because I don't know how he's going to handle that kind of pressure, because he didn't really have to take it last year because they didn't. Nobody did, really.
Yeah.
He was basically scoring at will, and he was just there where the ball was, and he finished. I'm hoping that we have the same production, like I said, but we'll see. I am not as confident as you are. Let's just put it that way.
It's one of those things. Like I feel like I said, if you can get those other guys to perform the way they did last year, it'll take some of the pressure off of them having to put extra pressure on Gazdag, because the fact that everyone else is being as effective, you'll have to sort of spread out more, and it could leave some holes open for Gazdag to still be able to score.
Of course. We have Pat over here. Does Blake come back with a hungry dog mentality?
Absolutely.
I don't think Blake has ever given us a reason not to think that way.
Yeah, and especially because if you look at a lot of the matches at the tail end of the year and through the playoffs, Andre Blake wore the armband. So if he doesn't have that hungry dog mentality, then there would be no need for him to be getting the armband at all.
That's correct.
Also, what, correct. Is it 2-time or 3-time goalkeeper of the year?
2-time.
Yeah, 2-time.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to keep respect on his name, man. He's not one of the best goalkeepers in the league for nothing.
He's getting a little bit older, but Gianluigi Buffon is still playing. So, and he's like 45. Yeah. So I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, and didn't De Gea play until he was in like his 40s?
Yeah, De Gea, Ochoa.
De Gea, Ochoa. Like, there's so many incredible goaltenders that play past their age 40 season that still maintain solid form. And honestly, I feel like Blake could be one of those guys.
Do you remember the German goalie, Oliver Kahn?
Yes.
He played till he was 42. Like he was a monster too.
Yeah, there were some incredible goalkeepers throughout the history of football that just were like wise. Like even like Ryan Giggs, like he wasn't a keeper, but like the dude played until he was like 43, something like that. Yeah. Like he literally was out there like full head of gray hair. Like
that's my dude. Sometimes that happens, but no. I to answer Pat's question, I don't think we have any kind of issue with Blake not having that mentality coming into the pitch. I think he knows how good he is and he knows his abilities to the point where if he's not longer able to perform the way he usually does, then he'll either step back or we'll move on.
I feel like more than anything, like Blake will let you know before you start to actually really see it. Like I feel like he's that kind of a person. Like he'll just be like, "Look, I don't got it," and they'll be like, "But dude, you just had like 3 clean sheets in a row." He's like, "Nah, I don't got it anymore."
By the way, I'm not seeing anytime soon, so I'm not even.
No, yeah, definitely not. And like Pat said here, bringing up the PKs in the MLS final. I feel like at this point, if you're still dwelling on that, it's only going to affect you. At this point, you leave that game where it was last season, and it's a whole new season. Everyone's record at the beginning of this season is the same, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Hold on. Even if this shouldn't affect them at all, like
exactly,
it wasn't on him. We didn't score one penalty, Austin, not one.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was not on him.
Yeah, this was more on. Yeah, this was more on everyone else.
Yeah,
because
as a goalie, you're not going to stop every single PK that you have. It's just not going to happen.
It just unfortunately happened to be
Yeah.
that the ones that he couldn't stop were when it mattered the most.
Like your team got to help you out. Like we didn't make one penalty, not one. I mean, you can't. You never. I don't remember the last time that anybody won missing the first three penalties.
No,
I
a
don't
prime
remember.
example of that is Nashville in the playoffs last year, 2 years ago. Now,
Damn,
It-
yeah.
we shut them out in PK shootouts, and that their keeper wound up coming back and actually having a decent year the following year.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that loss should have affected Blake at all, honestly, because
and if it
again,
did, it was
really
probably
wasn't him.
minimally. Yeah, and
Yeah, like
yeah,
if I was his teammate, I would go out to him and be like, it's not on you. Like it's us.
Yeah,
We did this.
exactly.
It's on me. Like
Yeah.
that's what they should have done. And I know he's the captain and he's supposed to take the blame, but
So you give
Not-
that
not-
man a
not
hug, and you're
this.
like, you're like, I'm sorry. That's what you do. You don't that he's not the guy that was the reason that you lost completely.
and
I mean, if you want to be more exact, you could put it on the defense because they didn't crowd Gareth Bale as much as they should have.
well, no, that was just. I think that was just a mistake. Not doubling him in that situation was just a mistake. Like when you think about it, yeah, you leave somebody open,
Yeah.
but it's not Gareth Bale, and you literally we just needed to
it
hold
can't
on.
be that guy.
We needed to hold on for 10 more seconds. Like it wasn't even like,
Yep.
yeah, you leave somebody open, but there's also a chance that we clear the ball, so double him.
Exactly. And if you can get that cleared,
I'm gonna think
totally
about. I
different
want
right
to think
now.
about the play for the next couple of years. I don't think that's gonna go away anytime soon.
Exactly.
It's gonna be that goal. It's gonna be the Kawhi Leonard quadruple doink to win to beat the Sixers in Game 7. That's what that felt like.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I was trying to think of what moment I had felt like that before, and that's definitely the one.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Because I buried it. I buried that John so far back. It's like every time I see like compilations on YouTube that are like best shots of in NBA history, I'm like, I'm not watching that because I know Kawhi's is on there. That was an amazing shot. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it again. But like my
off.
goodness, was it incredible? Like
I turn them off, and I do the same thing when I see videos about that game. I don't want to relive that again, man. We should have won that game.
Definitely should have.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah. Where is it? I'm sorry. I think it's loading. We got my mic here. Oh, come on. There we go. Do you guys buy the recent story circulating saying that MLS ranks as only the 29th most competitive soccer league in the world? Seems a bit flawed to me. Gus, your thoughts?
Well, in what way would that be flawed? And we gotta see like where the parameters are. When you say competitive, you mean like in terms of talent? Because if that's the case, I don't agree. No, I'm not saying we have the most talent
if you're
in the
thinking
world.
just in terms of the general leagues. Yeah, but I mean, if you're thinking just in terms of the general league structure, I may agree.
If you're thinking fandom too, if you're thinking fandom, I also agree.
Yeah, but I mean, when you think about it, we're the only competitive soccer league in the world that doesn't relegate. We don't have stateside soccer. We don't have we have. Yeah, I mean, we do. Yeah, we have a whole other league. We have a whole other soccer league under the MLS. It's where we've gotten a lot of these teams from. So I mean, you could technically relegate down, but it's not the way that it's not a more Americanized thing. I feel like it's an issue with that.
We're structured differently. But if you're telling me that
talent and fandom wise, I would probably not agree.
If you say competitive, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I know other countries like they literally breathe football. Like they every day wake up, die for their team. Like, and this is all they know because other countries guess what? This is all they have. And you can see it in Argentina when Messi won it for him. Yeah, you saw when Osiris turned. And honestly, if we do, let's say win the World Cup, we have 330 million people in the United States. I don't think that we'll see that kind of thing happen over here, even if we do win the MLS Cup or the World Cup. Like, think about it. Like, it's just I just don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe it'll happen in different cities, but still, I don't see it happen. That passion that you're born with soccer is just it's different in other countries.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I mean, if you do want to go out to a Union game and you want to see the passion that the fans have there, let me get rid of this comment here really quick. I'm sorry. Make sure going to sherrystickets.com. They don't have any hidden fees at the end of your purchase for the tickets. I actually was taking a look at some of the stuff for the NFC Championship, and they have tickets there, man. The best part is you're not gonna pay twice the price because of extra fees. It's just the price that you see. I literally was looking at the website, man. They show the price right there. Click on it, go through the whole process. You're not going to get hit with anything else. And when you get to the end and you go to buy them tickets, use the code EOP10. Take an extra % off on your boys. Like if you're still using StubHub or Ticketmaster, like you're crazy at this point. Because we've been talking about this for like a month now, Gus?
Yeah. And let me tell you what, if you do try to use another site to go buy your tickets and then you find out that your friend used cherrystickers.com and you paid more and then you get mad, you go to work and then you take it out on your coworkers, you can tell them to call our man David Archerry for workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, and criminal law. Our man David Archerry, you can find him at 610-565-0300.
And then for those of you that you want to dream bigger with sports tickets, get in on the Birds Ultimate Arizona Trip Part 2. This is for the Super Bowl. More than likely, your Birds are going to be there, so why not?
Let's go.
If you get your reservation in now on phillysportstrips.com, and by some crazy act of God, the Eagles don't make it to the Super Bowl, and the day after you're like, I don't want to go anymore, you can just cancel it. They'll give you your deposit back 100%, bro. And then also, when the Union start up, they're going to be the official road trip sponsor of the Philadelphia Union. There's a lot of soccer on the road this year, so make sure you're keeping an eye out on that and let them know that we sent you.
And of course, we have the Birds Ultimate Tailgate NFC Championship Sunday, January 29th, 11 to 2. There's nothing better than to watch our Birds in the NFC Championship game with a whole bunch of fans that are just as crazy as you are. With Philly Sports Trips, man, I'm telling you, they have the best events, man. Can you imagine the NFC Championship game, the tailgate? It's going to be ridiculous.
Yo, it's going to be wild. And then if you can't get out to the tailgate, but you're in the Ridley Park area, make sure you're checking out Dolan's. Every Eagles game, they got memorabilia giveaways, $8 cheesesteaks, and okay, wing cheesesteak.
Come on, man.
No, that's a thing? Wing cheesesteak?
Let's go right now.
Oh, yo, sold. I'm all the way out. I'm all the way out past Northeast Philly, and I'll go out to Ridley Park for a wing cheesesteak, bro. You kidding me? Make sure you're getting out the Dolans at Ridley Park.
For real. And don't forget the Eagles Game Day Live. We got the pregame, halftime, and postgame presented by the Painted Lines. And of course, as always, Edge of Philly Sports, where you'll find every sport in Philadelphia. All the news, all the insights. Please be sure to check them out.
Someone tell Pat to wear some Union stuff. It's not Philly season yet.
Listen, I can tell Pat a lot of
things. He wore his blue at the wrong time.
Listen, I'm just happy he's wearing clothes at all. Like, when you think about it, it's Pat. You never know. Sean, you know better than that. You know him. You better consider yourself lucky he's wearing a shirt at all.
Dude, even more impressive is that he dressed himself.
Well, we don't know that. We gotta ask his wife that.
Sure. That's very true. I gave him a bit more credit than usual, but.
Well, man, this has been fun. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Dude, always glad to be here and do this with you, man.
As always, every Thursday, 9:00, you'll find us over here talking about the Union. Every week gets closer to the season starting. I can't wait, and we'll be happy to share some more news next week, 9:00.
Hopefully, no one else gets transferred or traded, but
Well,
If it happens, we're the
listen,
people.
Martinez is on the block. I don't know. You might be going.
Martinez is on the block, so make sure you're keeping it locked right here, so that way if anything does go down, we got you covered.
You know it. I see you guys.
Catch y'all next.